guys, how are you doing? Okay, so today's story is Little Devils. This is written by Robert J. Blake. And look at these pretty are these dogs or are they wolves? I don't know. They kind of look like dogs, but they kind of look like wolves. So I guess we'll see what happens. Bernie and Winnie and Big Stanley could hardly wait for their mom to return to the den. Sometimes she brought them back fish to eat. Sometimes she brought back a bone to chew on. And sometimes she brought back things that she had borrowed from a nearby fishing cabin. Things like a dented frying pan, a football, and an old boot. Oh, goodness, I'm sorry, guys, I yawned. Look, there's the old boot. You see it? He's got it in his mouth. Have we decided what these are? Do we know if they're dogs or wolves? I don't know. He kind of looks like a dog, but then he kind of doesn't. I don't know what to make of him. Mom didn't mind when the pups wrestled over something that she had brought home. She didn't mind when they growled and tore things apart. She didn't even mind when Big Stanley lowered his head and said, "Oh," and bashed the things away from his mates. Because that is what Tasmanian devil pups are supposed to do. Oh, so they're Tasmanian devil pups. Now, when I think of a Tasmanian devil, I think of the one on Looney Tunes, Taz, who goes blah, 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 and spins in a circle really fast. He doesn't look like these, does he? No. And look, there's Mom watching. Because the pups were getting older, Mom often let them play outside the den. But soon, after the sun rose, my nose is itching. The family would go inside, curl up together, and sleep away the heat of the day. They were very happy Tasmanian devil family. Look. They all snuggled up together. Do you ever snuggle up together with your mommy or daddy or grandma or grandpa? Or aunts or uncles? I used to. But one night, Mom didn't come home. The pups waited quietly back at the den as the moon went up and the moon went down. They waited quietly at the den when the sun crossed the sky, and by the time the day grew old, the pups were peeking their head outside. They're peeking their heads out. Big Stanley didn't want to wait anymore. He stomped out of the den and looked back at his mates and then stomped down the hill. Soon after, Bernie crawled out of the den and he sniffed the air and sneaked down the hill. Finally, Winnie stepped out and turned her head sideways for a listen, and then she ran down the hill. Look, you see that house right there? Or a barn? I wonder if that's where they're headed. Big Stanley found his way into the fisherman's cabin. He liked the goodies that he found in the garbage can. He liked the box of noodles that he found on the table. But he did not like the fisherman who came home and tried to catch him. Big Stanley bashed his way through things on the table and ran out the door looking for a place to hide. Oh, look. You see that man's hand? Look, he caught him inside, so he's going to try to catch him. But look, he is scared and he is running. Bernie ran up and down the rocks on the beach. He jumped at the sea foam. He found an old fish to eat. But as soon as he turned back on the ocean, a big wave crashed down on him. Bernie pulled himself out of the water and skittered down the shoreline, looking for a place to hide. Look, you ever been to the beach? Those waves get pretty strong, and I think he's figured that out. I think he's figured out the waves are a bit stronger than he wants. Winnie followed some loud crunching noises until she found a gnarly old devil having a feast. Winnie was hungry too, but as soon as she lifted a paw to go near, the old devil bared his teeth and said, "Arr!" Winnie scurried down the beach, looking for a place to hide. Oh. He does not look like he wants to share, does he? No, I don't think so. Winnie found Bernie, and he had found Big Stanley, and they all hid in a drift log wood. Bernie was scared of all the animals moving around, but Winnie remembered how the gnarly old devil had scared her away. She stuck her head out of the log and screamed, "Arr!" And some wallabies ran away. "Arr!" Big Stanley tried screaming too, and a wombat waddled away. "Arr!" Bernie screamed, and an enseada shuffled away. Suddenly, all three pups stopped. "Arr!" From up on the rocks was another scream. "Arr!" It was Mom. Look, there's the three pups. But look, up here, they see something and they hear their mom. The three Tasmanian devil pups jumped out on the log. They ran across the foreshore and splashed the water, and they scrambled up the rocks. Look, can you see their mom up here? She's in a cage. Uh-oh, she must have been caught. And look, there they are. There's 1, 2, and 3. At the top, they found Mom caught in a trap. Next to it was the gnarly old devil who'd scared Winnie the night before. When he growled, the pups backed up. When he screamed, they backed up again. Then Winnie stopped. He was a mean old devil, but they had to save their mom. Look, he's gnarling his teeth. And there's their mom. "Arr!" screamed Winnie, Stanley, and Bernie. "Arr, arr, arr!" they screamed. One pup screamed alone. Screaming alone was one thing, but 3 pups screaming together was 2 pups too much. The gnarly devil slinked and snarled and ran away. Oh, look. One he might not have been scared of, but all 3 he was definitely scared of. Mom didn't mind when Stanley chewed on the stake that held the trap to the ground. She didn't mind when Bernie and Winnie tried to tear the trap apart. Mom didn't mind when she was tossed upside down and banged as the pups tried to get her out. Mom didn't care that they acted gnarly and rough, because that is what Tasmanian devils are supposed to do. Oh, look, they're trying to get her out. They don't want their mom taken away. Mom was dizzy, the trapdoor was dented and loose, but still one stubborn bar held shut. Suddenly, Bernie and Winnie ran behind a rock, and Big Stanley lowered his head, gave the trap one big bash, and knocked it right off the outcropping. See, it's still kind of stuck. But look, he's going to barrel his head into it. He's going to try. You think he's going to get it? The trap spun through the air like a football at the grand finale game. And as soon as the trap door turned up on the end, the stubborn bar fell loose and the door came open. Mom was free of the cage before it hit the water below. Oh, look. They were knocking it off, but if she lands in the water in that cage, she's going to sink, and that's not good. Bernie and Winnie and Stanley ran to their mom, and they were a happy family once again. Oh, look. They're all wet. I bet they stink. I bet they don't take baths. Oh, and this is where we can find Tasmanian devils. So right down here is Tasmania. And these are places, let's see, there's Melbourne and Sydney. And right down here is where you can find the Tasmanian devils, and that's called Tasmania. Did you know that was a real place? Right there. And up here, this big continent is Australia. All right, guys, that is all I have for today. So I will see you again next week. Bye, guys. I love you.